This is a warning. This is a cloud fiction, and it's a crazy one at that. I mean, this is. I just. It's. I don't know what to call this fanfic. I mean, it's just. The title says it all. I mean, do I have to really explain it to you? I mean, this is a warning. Just keep in mind. I warned you. Alright guys, Chromosome freaking Excel is here to bring you a fanfic that I am just rolling on. The title is called The Elements of Orgy. Penguin Orgy, eat your heart out. That's I'm cool now. But anyways, that is just like, wow. No description available, man. This is... Okay, let's start this fanfic. Alright, shall we? Okay, let's start this fanfic. Guys, gotta keep cool. Now, as I said before, I am not gonna read this properly. I'm gonna fail a lot, because I read fanfic blind. I don't pre-read stuff. I don't do that. So let's start. It was winter wrap-up time in Ponyville yet again, and every pony was getting shit done. The Earth ponies were doing their earthly bullshit, and Pegasus were fucking around with the weather, and the unicorns were goddamn magical. One of these unicorns, Twilight fucking Sparkle, used her magic to carry some boxes into her house. I sure can't wait for the spring, Twilight exclaimed, dropping the boxes of her dumb ass failed to force on them at the same time. And they call me clumsy, said Derpy Hooves, flying overhead. Twilight rolled her eyes at Derpy, then proceeded to crash into Town Hall, causing an enormous explosion somehow. Howdy, Twilight! Applejack yelled, galloping over to the failed pony. I just got done with my duties. How's... Applejack trailed off, seeing the boxes scatter across the ground, then laughed. Geez, Twilight, you sure do suck at winter wrap-up. Shut your mouth, bitch! Twilight yelled, drawing her back hoof to strike her southern friend. Yoo-hoo! Yay! A sound Rarity as she approached Twilight and Applejack. Look what I put together! Isn't it just gorgeous? Rarity spanked in place, showing off her new dress made entirely of icicles. You look like a cheap whore, Twilight muttered, turning away from Rarity and retreated into her house. Suddenly, Rainbow Dash flew from the sky with a thunk and turned to face Applejack and Rarity. What crawled up her ass and died? Rainbow Dash asked. Rarity and Applejack looked in the sky confused, then back at Rainbow Dash. How long have you been up there? Rarity asked. About 4 hours. Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday after all, Rainbow Dash replied, clearly introducing her weekly ritual at staring at Twilight for an entire day, wirelessly listening to smooth jazz and clopping furiously. As Rainbow Dash drifted off into a state of ecstasy, Rarity and Applejack spun around, drawn by a loud bang from Sugarcube Corner. The doors burst open as black smoke pillowed out, and Fluttershy ran away, crying steams from her tears. Oh, come on, Fluttershy. You're acting like you've never been in the mouth of a exploding cake before. Pinkie Pie yelled from inside. Fluttershy spun around and wiped the tears from her eyes. Exploding cake? My gentle, animal-loving ass. Those plastic explosives and the smoke bombs were my only means of escape from whatever that was in your fucking basement. Pinkie Pie hopped out of the building, causing Fluttershy to curl up on the ground in fear. Oh, let it go, Fluttershy. That cave-in sealed off the entire basement, so I won't be able to make cupcakes for weeks. Oh snap, she's gonna turn Fluttershy into a cupcake. Oh snap. Well, Pinkie Pie stopped by Fluttershy as she slowly rose from the ground sniffling. Yeah, okay, Fluttershy whimpered, using her amazing powers of repression to forget the entire ordeal. What has bacon got to do with the wrap up anyways? Should we be focusing our efforts on something more practical? Fuck that shit, bacon kicks ass. Pinkie looked past Fluttershy to her other friends and grinned. Hey girls, Pinkie Pie squealed, making her way over to the group. Get off my lawn, assholes, Twilight yelled from her bathroom window. Pinkie stopped by the other ponies and looked up at the window. What's up with her? Pinkie Pie asked, turning to Rainbow Dash. This caused Dashy to snap out of her fantastic state of pleasure, and she quickly withdrew her hoof from her quivering pussy. Oh my god, really? Oh, I don't know, but it's nothing that some good loving can't fix. Rainbow Dash replied, wiping her wet hoof against her coat. Applejack pet. Applejack patted Rainbow Dash on the shoulder and chuckled. I'm sure there'll be time for you to ravish Twilight with a week-long sexathon after winter wrap-up is done, Rainbow. But what you said, we got back to our duties and bring in the best spring ever. The ponies cheered and high-hooved repeatedly, but were interrupted by a swirling mass of snow in the middle of their group. The snow fell to the ground, revealing none other than Santa Claus standing among the ponies. What is Santa Claus doing here? That's Earth stuff. What the hell's going on here? Who the fuck are you? asked Pinkie Pie, looking up at the old fat bastard. The name's Chris Charleston. I couldn't help but hear that you intended to end winter so soon. The old fuck laughed. His fat belly jiggled repetitively with each breath. Well, yeah, this is winter wrap-up. It's when we wrap up winter, Applejack said, surprised at Santa Claus' inability to deduct the meaning of the event from its name. But you haven't even celebrated Christmas yet, Santa Claus gasped. Christmas? Fluttershy asked, finally contributing to the conversation for once in her fucking life. What's that? Santa Claus cringed his chest and stumbled backwards. Are you telling me that you never heard of Christmas before? Santa Claus asked, taken back. No, Fluttershy quietly replied, looking to the ground. Well then, there's only one thing to do, Santa Claus yelled, ripping off his pants. Oh dear sweet Celestia, it's hideous! Rarity screamed as Santa Claus's junk swung about in the cold winter breeze. Santa Claus Santa Claus whipped around to face Rarity and jumped on top of her. I'm gonna fill you with Christmas cheer. I'm loving it. Santa Claus exclaimed as he inserted his jolly old penis inside Rarity's pussy. Oh God, Lord! Rarity screamed as Santa Claus stuffed his profusing stuffed her quivering stockings. Really? Twilight dashed out of her house, jawed by Rarity's cries of terror. She looked on in horror as Santa Claus' winkly mask wrinkled on top of Rarity's puny body, witnessed his metrosexual Christmas puns, such as "I'm dreaming of a white Christmas" and "I'm coming down your chimney soon." I want to hear those songs. Somebody make them right now. I want to hear those two songs. No, there can't be a human here. That'll rip apart the fabric of reality. Twilight yelled. Bitch, I ain't no human. I'm a physical embodiment of holiday joy. Santa Claus said as he continued to give it to Rarity real good, whom had decided to stop resisting Santa Claus's sexual barrage. It's the same damn thing, Twilight replied, gritting her teeth. If you stay in this realm of existence, there'll be nothing stopping anything else from all the other realms from coming through as well. Santa Claus stopped pounding Reveille's dazzling vag momentarily to ponder Twilight's statement, then smiled and looked up to the sky. In that case, now Dasher, now Dancer, now, oh my God, Percy's, and the rest. As Santa Claus said this, a cloud above Ponyville opened and a pack of flying reindeers rocketed through and proceeded to find a mounted various ponies throughout the town. Oh God, no! Twilight yelled as Rudolph humped her vulgariously. Reality is crumbling! And with that, the ground began to shake as glowing tears formed in the very fabric of existence, and various life forms began to come through them. And what could that possibly be? This is in 1955. Dr. Brown? Isn't that from Back to the Future? Oh my God! What others? Back to the Future, stepping out of his tricked out DeLorean. Oh well, time to fuck some ponies. What? Doc Brown just said that? Doc ran from his time machine and got a nearby pony and unzipped his trousers. One of the tiers in reality located above the school splattered out the Beatles from 1965 and the cast of the Breakfast Club. I don't understand, George Harrison said, looking at Molly Ringwald. Oh my God, are you serious? Even them? But all I know is that I could really go for some pony sex. The group cheered and made their way into the school to molest each and every one of the underage fillies. Chili managed to escape Rango's clutches as he attempted to take her in his octopus garden, which she has assumed to be his genitalia. But she was soon stopped by Bill Nye, the science guy. So it was love at first sight, and Chili happily agreed to accept Mr. Nye's beef stick. Are you serious? A gigantic tear formed in the center of town as Derply crawls from the... Oh my god, are you serious? Are you serious? From the debris formerly known as Town Hall, and she looked up in terror as a stormtrooper began to remove his pants. Suddenly, Obi-Wan Kenobi jumped from behind a nearby piece of rubble and grabbed Derpy. This is not the pony you were looking for, Obi-Wan said, waving his hand in front of the trooper. The confused trooper looked down at his erect penis and struggled and turned away to find another target to sexually assault. Obi-Wan chuckled and looked down at Derpy, who was extremely dumbfounded as usual, and pulled out his Jedi dick. This is no moon. It's my penis, Obi-Wan said, lowering Derpy to the ground and preparing to mount her Wooby styles. Put the pony down, said Darth Vader, pulling out his lightsaber. She's mine. Oh my god. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader are fighting over Derpy. Oh snap. This is freaking epic. Obi-Wan turned to face his former pupil as Derpy tumbled to the ground. Bring it on, bitch. Obi-Wan charged forward, penis flapping about freely, and drew his own lightsaber to fight the horny Sith. As the epic battle commenced, the remaining members of the main six who weren't being sexed up ran towards the only hope of shelter, the ever-free forest. On their way out of town, they encountered Sakura, who was making her way into town to buy supplies. Sakura looked around at the ponies approaching and scratched her head. What's with all the tears? What are these tears? Some sort of hex? And why is every pony having such sweaty sex? Sakura looked to the ponies running towards her, and Rainbow Dash yelled from the front of the group, Santa fucked up everything! Run for your virginity! The ponies passed by Sakura, and she looked at the town. I am not a virgin. Not ever since when I had a super orgy with 67 men. What? Suddenly, a new tear formed directly in front of Sakura's eyes. William Shakespeare stepped out and looked down at the zebra. By soft, do my ears deceive my mind? Is it truly a rhyming zebra that I am lucky to find? Shakespeare said, bending down on one knee. Sakura raised an eyebrow and smiled slightly. Well, it's rhyming! What the heck? What have you suggested? That I am indeed? Now take your pants and give me your seat. It's awesome. Shakespeare wrapped off his ridiculous tights immediately and jumped on top of Sakura, starting to thrust his old English rod into her erotic cartoon hole. Wow. Back in town, the mayor was cowering behind the debris of town hall, trying to hide from the rape-tastic intruders. As she whimpered in fear, a hand grabbed her flank from behind, and she heard a smooth voice say, "Yeah!" I gotta stop this. She spun around. Her face busted. She was starting to remove. Who was starting to remove his jeans, revealing his bulging dick. I don't know what to say. Fonzie picked up the mayor and laid back against the rubble. He pointed down at his junk, and the mayor looked to it, confused. "Sit on it!" This is so funny. At the center of Ponyville, a strange blue box materialized. And Dr. Hooves, wow, stepped out into the midst of the sexual chaos. "Hey, you have a TARDIS too," Doctor Who said and yelled from a few feet away as he shoves his sonic screwdriver in and out of Derpy. What? Who? Who had managed to proceed from Darth Vader somehow. Dr. Hooves looked at Derpy in terror and then stared up into the sky. How did this happen? How can I fix this? "Oh, don't you worry about that, Freddie Mercury said, stepping out from behind the TARDIS. The Queen grabbed hold of Dr. Hooves and grinned. "Tonight we're going to have ourselves a real good time." Oh, this is insane. At Sweet Apple Acres, oh my god, Granny Smith looked out her window at the town and gasped in shock. "Sweet little Diblets, what's going on out there?" Another tear opened from behind her, and Richard Nixon stepped out, sporting a serious presidential club. "Why, hello there, young lady," Nixon exclaimed, stepping towards the old pony. "Mind if I intrude?" "Oh heavens, a burglar!" Granny Smith screeched, whacking Nixon with her purse. She had a purse? I don't know. "I am not a crook!" Nixon yelled, slapping the purse away and pushing Granny Smith onto her bed. "Now it's time to get down to business!" That's literally what it says. I'm going with it. Nixon yelled, slapping. As Nixon started to pound into Granny Smith's dusky old snatch. Big Mac into the room. Nixon looked up and raised an eyebrow. Well, hey there, big fella. Care to join in? Yup. Big Mac replied, dashing towards to partake in the incest he had already longed for. Oh my God. This is something else. This is getting insane. The Cutie Mark Crusaders ran into the barn screaming to try to escape the rape fest plaguing Ponyville. Where is Celestia and Luna? All this is happening. Where are they? There's plaguing Ponyville and locked the large wooden door behind them. Do you think we're safe? Sweetie Belle said, gasping for air. What if someone breaks in? Scootaloo said, moving away from the door. Apple Bloom shook her head and pointed behind her. No chance, Scoots. This door is sturdy as can be. Nothing can possibly... And at that, a shirtless Richard Nixon burst through the barn door on a giraffe, sporting a Viking helmet and swinging a sword. Nixon yelled, hopping off of his giraffe and approaching his new sexual conquest. Hello, girls. You're about to find out. Well, you'll find out why they call me Tricky Dick. The screams of the Cutie Mark Crusaders echoed from the bar and rang through the air towards the town, meeting Spike's ears. Oh, gosh, that sounded like Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom and Scootaloo. I better go see if they need my help. Spike ran from the town towards Sweet Apple Acres, but was confronted by Ganondorf. You shall not pass! The old wizard yelled, pushing Spike to the ground and rapping out his magical rod. His penis, not his staff. Spike crawled backwards across the ground, away from the horny wizard, but was stopped by a young man with glasses and a lightning bolt scar. Harry Potter pulled out his wand, penis, and pointed at Gandalf. If any wizard is going to rape this dragon, it'll be me, because I'm Harry Potter, said Potter. Harry grabbed his wand tightly. This time, I actually mean his wand, not his penis. Ganondorf laughed and lowered his staff towards the young wizard. Do you really think your tiny wand can match against my mighty rod? Mine is much larger and incredibly powerful. Ganondorf laughed and Harry Potter stepped forward. I am getting sick and tired of these penis jokes. Molesto Patronum! Harry Potter wand erupted in white goo and spread it forward to cover Ganondorf as Ganondorf became enveloped in the young man's white goo. His cries were drowned by the sticky sensation. Oh my god. Soon he was nothing but a pile of white slime. Wow, Harry Potter just kicked Ganondorf's ass. I'm okay with that. Barely resembling a man he once was. Harry Potter grinned and looked down at Spike. I learned that one in women's self-defense. Suddenly, a hat blew in the breeze for some weird reason from somewhere in town and landed in a pile of white and sprung to life. Ew. Happy birthday! Sung out Frosty. So Frosty is nothing but white goo. Ew. Moving towards Harry. Oh, fuck it! Harry muttered, pulling out a handgun and blasting away the cherished childhood symbol of cheer. Now, Harry said, turning back to the baby dragon and unbuttoning his trouser. I hope you don't mind, but I have a ST Wizard D. You mean STDs for wizards? Okay. Spike looked down at Harry's bumping red boner and gasped, Hogwarts! That was the most lamest joke I've ever heard. That joke was horrible. But anyway, let's continue. Meanwhile, in the Everfree Forest, Fluttershy, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash cowered in fear. The moans and screams of sexual pleasure from the town carried out even this far, and the ponies knew that somewhere in town, Twilight and Rarity were getting sexed up so hard. We can't just leave our friends, Rainbow Dash Ray said, raising her hooves. We have to save them, but I don't want to get raped. Fluttershy whimpered, hiding behind a nearby tree. If we stand together, none of us will be in any danger, Applejack attempted to reassure Fluttershy. Pinkie Pie jumped up and grabbed all her friends together. Well then, let's go kick some sweaty pony sex-having ass. The four ponies made their way to Sakura's hut and entered, searching for any supplies they could use to craft explosives. Just look for anything that looks harmful, Rainbow Dash said, digging through in Sakura's many trunks. Suddenly the search was halted by a ruffling of a sheet in Sakura's bed. Sakura's head popped out from beneath the covers, dreaded in sweat, as she looked around at the ponies in her hut. Why are you here? You couldn't interrupt my slumber if I weren't so busy riding the poetic lumber. The four ponies stared, slack-jawed, as Shakespeare came from beneath the covers, smoking a cigarette. I don't question it. At first, I thought it was absurd, but now in reality, I am indeed a huge fan of bestiality. Fluttershy squeaked in fear and backed away towards the door. Sakura shook her head and sighed. If dangerous weapons are what you want, I have many rifles suitable for the hunt. Why would Sakura have rifles? Sakura pulled out a trunk from under her bed and pushed it towards the floor to the ponies. Applejack looked inside and found several guns crafted to be operated by hooves. What do you mean hunt? Applejack said, pulling out a rifle. We don't kill anything in Equestria. As Applejack said this, Pinkie Pie's eyes darted back and forth, and she nodded slowly in agreement. My native people took part in said hunts. Now get out of my house, you stupid little cunts. glared at the ponies as they each took a rifle and left her hunt. She sighed in relief and turned to Shakespeare. "Now that we are alone, you sexy little man, what event is start that you have planned?" Shakespeare flicked his cigar away from the bed and put his arms around his head. I could go for a sandwich." The ponies bared arms, rushing to the town, ready to take on each and every intruder. Fluttershy looked down at her gun and whimpered. "I could never hurt any living creature," she said, lowering her rifle. Pinkie Pie giggled as she hopped in front of Fluttershy. "Well then, we'll use you as rape bait to draw them away from Rarity and Twilight." Fluttershy stopped behind the other ponies and she looked down at her gun. Then her eyes narrowed as she cocked the rifle. They ain't gonna get none of this." The four ponies made their way into town and shifted their way through the crowd of sweaty bodies towards Twilight's house. As they approached the house, they saw Santa still vigorously pounding Rarity, and Twilight was still being drilled by Rudolph. Rainbow Dash raised her rifle at Santa Claus and grinned her teeth. "Fuck Christmas!" Just as she was about to pull a trigger, Applejack put her hand to Rainbow Dash's rifle and pointed towards Santa Claus. "It looked like someone else is gonna save you a bullet." As Santa Claus continued to thrust his North Pole into Rarity's now numb vajayjay, he heard an arguing voice come from above him. Santa looked up and was met by Adolf Hitler, gun pointed at his face. "Get up, fat man! It is my turn to rip that pony." Oh my god, this reminds me of that fanfic that I just got finished reading called Twilight's Plan to Kill Hitler. Oh my god, this is connected to that? Oh snap. Hitler fingers tightened on the trigger, and Santa Claus slowly rose off of Rarity. "So, you want this pony for Christmas?" Santa looked at Hitler as he began to remove his pants from his free hand. "Well, you've been a bad boy. You get coal." Santa reached into his hat and pulled out a large chunk of coal, with which he had chucked at Hitler's forehead. The coal met Hitler's skull with a crack as he stumbled backwards, firing off random shots as he fell. One shot managed to hit Santa Claus in the chest. He clenched his wound, fell to his knees. Is this the end? But who will save Christmas? Suddenly a green figure climbed on top of Twilight's house, holding Lyra in its arms. Then the body's voice from the sky. And what happened then? Well, in Ponyvon, and oh my god, no. And what happened then? Well, in Ponyville, they say, the Grinch's small dick grew 3. Oh, shut the fuck up! Applejack said, raising her rifle towards the Grinch. She fired a shot, and the Grinch's disembodied boner dropped to the ground. As he whimpered in pain, grabbing his bloody dickless crotch hole and fell from the roof, Fluttershy walked over to Rudolph, who momentarily stopped humping Twilight to look up into Fluttershy's eyes. "Normally, I love animals," Fluttershy said, punching Rudolph in the face, and he fell to the ground, red nose bulging to black. "But you fucked with the wrong pony." Twilight and Reddy rose from the ground, trembling in shock. Twilight looked out onto the town and whimpered, "Why is everyone so damn horny?" Twilight turned to the other main six and pulled on her super serious face. "There's no time to ponder over their lustful cravings now. We have to fix this." "But how?" asked Pinkie Pie, hopping over at Twilight. Twilight rushed inside and came back out holding 6 pieces of jewelry with the elements of harmony. Twilight passed out each pony symbol and they put the jewelry on. The ponies got information and started to activate the elements, hoping to get rid of their world of this sexual scourge. As the ponies began to glow and rise into the air, yet another tear opened below them as, oh my god, no freaking way. Oh my god. Neo Anderson stepped out, removing his sunglasses. Huh? This isn't right. Neo looked up and saw the 6 ponies hovering over his head. Man, red pills are some crazy shit. Come on, Fluffies. Neo hopped onto his giant honey beaver. Okay, I've seen the freaking Matrix. Now, when did the hell did Neo get a giant honey? I'm not gonna question it. Which had also come through the tear of reality. Okay, that explains everything. And pointed to the sky. Away! Neo and Fluffies then rocket off into the sunset, and the main 6 hovered in mid-air. Then a great flash of light emerged from the 6 ponies and engulfed all of Equestria. When the light dulled down, the intruders were gone, and only the sexual ravaged husk of several ponies remained, scattered throughout Ponyville. We did it! Twilight squealed as she and the other ponies lowered to the ground. The elements of harmony worked. As Twilight said this, a final gigantic tear opened up above the town, and a single man dropped out of it. Nope. Chuck Tessie said as the ponies looked at him in terror. Chuck Tessie then proceeded to have sex with every single living creature in Equestria 8 times, and then managed to do 2 bears at once. The end. It isn't over yet, guys. It may say the end, but there's one other chapter.